Good evening, Vanessa. How have you been doing recently? Are you working overtime again tonight?
Hey, Jenna, I'm doing fine, I guess. And yeah, I'm still here working overtime, trying to get this project all finished up.
Oh, that's too bad. That has to be pretty depressing, staying late all the time. You'd think that they'd choose someone else every once in a while. What project is it this time?
I'm still working on the project that I spoke to you about a few days ago. But honestly, I feel I'm still not really getting anywhere with all of the time and effort I've put in. I need to try and finish it here soon. But before I can even go home, I still need to attend a meeting with some of the managers. I have to talk to them about how things are going and how close the team is to finishing it up.
It seems like for the past year and a half, this company's been treating you unfairly, huh? I guess a better way to say it is that you've become a slave to all of management's requests. Have you ever thought about going someplace else within the company?
It's not like I want to go to a different department or leave this company or really anything like that, but out of all the other members that are a part of this project, I just feel like I'm the only one who doesn't get the chance to go home and relax. And I don't think I'm in any position to try asking management either.
That's unfortunate to hear from you. Heck, I wonder if I'd be allowed to leave from work early if I asked.
Hey, you're an exception from all the rest of us here. You've been with this company for a rather long time now. And it seems like you don't really have to deal with any time-consuming projects, so I don't see why you couldn't ask them, but I'm a relatively average person within this company, so I couldn't get away with asking something as simple as that.
Do you really think I could get away with those kind of requests? I don't have any idea of what goes on at work these days, and I'm still surprised by the fact that they let me continue working for this company. Maybe if I started working harder for the company, that allowed me to join the project team with you. But let's be honest, do you really see management letting someone as useless and ignorant as me leave work early?
Well, you're already home at this time of night, so they must be allowing it. Anyways, I still won't be going home because the meeting will probably end up going all the way until 9 p.m. or so. This place is really starting to wear me down. Besides all of this, I really need to start preparing for my wedding that's coming up.
For someone who's such a workaholic like you, saying everything in an exhausted and burnt-out tone must mean you really are in pretty rough shape. But hey, you have an amazing wedding to look forward to, so that should be keeping your spirits high, right? Are you still keeping up with all of the wedding prep?
Do you think I have the time to get anywhere with them? I still have to figure out what I'm going to wear and who I want to invite. But every day for the past 6 months, I've been working about 10 to 11 hours a day, you know? I've had absolutely zero time or energy to prepare and plan out this wedding and send invitations. And because I'm always feeling exhausted on my days off, I've had no urge to continue working on anything, no matter how meaningful it should be to me.
Well, that'll happen from time to time, huh? But to most people, their wedding ceremony is a once-in-a-lifetime sort of event, right? You have no other choice but to prepare for it, or else you'll end up regretting this for the rest of your life. If it helps you at least a little, start to get those preparations for this wedding finished for me, alright?
Huh? How would finishing plans for this wedding help you?
I didn't mean anything particular by that. Don't worry about what I said. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to your wedding.
Wait, are you really that excited for my upcoming wedding? I haven't really even talked with you about it yet.
Of course, I'm excited that you're going to get married. Back when I was in charge of the research team at our company, I was pretty involved with watching over Mr. Harrington after he'd graduated from university and entered this company. And I've also been busy keeping an eye on you ever since you started working for this company. To me, you two have been making my working experience much less boring than it was before you guys arrived. And the way you both interact with one another made me always dream about what a cute couple you guys could be.
Aw, Jenna, that's too kind of you to say. Not even I could take the time to bother watching 2 new hires enter this company. I'm so glad that you're one of my superiors. Because of all the help that you've given me from the very start, I've been able to make it farther than I could have imagined within the company.
What are you trying to say by that? Are you saying that you use my fondness of you to overtake my position and become one of the leading members of the project team? You really are quite a cunning one, aren't you?
No, that's not at all what I meant by that. I had no intention of making it in this position when I envisioned working for the company. It was all because of the higher-ups that decided to place me on the project team. And if you were never there helping me along the way by putting in a good word for me, I would have never had a chance of becoming a part of this team.
Why the heck are you being so serious all of a sudden? It was just a small joke. I'm just messing around to get you to stop acting so down. In reality, I'm happy that I was treated so well by a very responsible and knowledgeable newbie like yourself. If you'd never decided to enter the company, I would have most likely left out of total boredom.
Jenna, you shouldn't be saying something like that to me. But really, though, I was only able to make it to where I am now because of all you did. I'm sorry for all the complaining I've done recently regarding this project and the overtime. I'll continue to do my best at this company and with this project just for you, Jenna. I won't let you down. Also, I'll make sure that all the time and effort you put into me doesn't go to waste.
Oh my gosh, you're making me blush. But just to let you know, if you don't end up doing your best within the company, you'll have to worry about your position on that team. If you end up not being around anymore, I'll have to take everything for myself.
Huh? What do you mean by that? What'll you be taking all for yourself?
That is a big secret.
Wait, you can't just keep that a secret from me. Now you've got me all interested. I wonder what you could be hiding. Is it something expensive that's in your office kept within your desk? Or even better than that, could it be that super handsome guy that was just hired as our HR, Brad? I really want to know what it is that you'll have all to yourself.
Oh well, he was once a new hire from around the time that you were also entering this company. You're pretty clueless who it is, though, huh? Let's let it be for now. There's no need for us to get too deep about my love life at this time of night. Please get back to focusing on your project, okay?
Come on! Now that I have this secret of yours on my mind, there's no way I could attempt to focus on this project. From how you phrased it, it's pretty much impossible for me to stop asking you about who it is, especially now that it involves someone you like. Also, today in particular, our conversation on here has had some real sentiment to it, right? Like we're finally starting to talk more about our lives than just what's going on at the workplace. I'm the type of person that gets far too excited when talking about other people's life outside of work.
My, you're all riled up now. It's alright to go little by little when talking about love interests like mine. And by the way, I think you're starting to forget about something. Are you all right on time? It's getting closer to the start of that meeting, and I don't think you've gotten any closer to finishing that very important project.
Oh, crap. I was so caught up with this that I totally forgot to look at the time. Man, with how much I'm getting involved in, I don't even think I'll be able to get to the wedding preparations today either.
You'll be all right. Just stop focusing on what I said earlier and make some progress on the project. And also, good luck at that meeting, okay?
Hey, Jenna, I just heard from David. He said that during the time that I was still at work, you ended up contacting the wedding venue that me and him plan to get married at, right? Thank you for doing that, and I'm sorry for troubling you with something that David and I should have been handling from the start.
Hey, it's not a problem for me whatsoever. We're all involved in this wedding after all, you know? There's no need for you to worry about the preparations anymore. I think I was able to get it all straightened out.
Oh, that's such a relief. Wait, what? We're all involved, and I shouldn't worry anymore about it. What do you mean by that? What all have you straightened out? And also, all I heard from David was that you contacted the reception hall, but he didn't give me any information on what you were helping with. What was it that you ended up contacting them about?
Oh, gosh. David really didn't spell it all out for you, huh? I'm sorry in advance for how harsh this is all gonna sound to you. And I don't think what I did was meant to help you, but rather me.
What the hell is going on? Wait, you never referred to David by his first name. I know you helped him out a ton at work, but you always refer to him by his last name.
Okay. I guess I need to tell you everything now. It isn't very healthy for me to hide this from you, and you'd soon find out about this from David anyway.
Hiding? What have you been hiding from me? This whole ordeal is starting to get a little scary. And why do you keep on laughing so much? Oh no, I'm starting to get a bad feeling about all of this. This situation looks exactly like something I've seen in a drama before.
Oh, that's quite accurate. This is definitely like something out of a romantic drama or something, huh? I'm sorry to have to break it to you, but that wedding that you had scheduled for 2 months from now is for David and I to get married.
What the hell? I knew there was a reason I had such a bad hunch about the way you were wording things and acting. Wait, are you actually being serious right now? What kind of reason do you have for doing something this horrific? It feels like you're just making fun of me or something. You have to be lying. There's no way you'd want to do this to me, right? I thought you were all excited for me to get married to David because we were so cute together.
Oh gosh, wouldn't it be great if I was just playing a prank on you? However, I'm really telling you the truth here, and I have many reasons for doing this. David and I have actually already been dating for 2 years now.
You both have been together for 2 years already? What? But David and I didn't start dating until about a year ago. Does that mean he's been having an affair with you this whole time? He's the worst! Does that not make you feel disgusted by him?
Actually, it's you that's been causing all the problems with our relationship. Before you had even entered the company, David and I already knew each other and were having such an amazing relationship together. I'd first met him at his interview just before he graduated, and for a while I'd been planning to get married to him. But then you came between us, breaking our relationship, and then you took David's eyes off of me.
anything about you guys being together. If you were dating him, why didn't you tell me? Also, why would you have been referring to him by his last name this whole time then? If I had known that you and him were a thing, I would have never thought about asking him out.
Oh, is that so? Didn't you realize that I had feelings for him by the way I looked at and spoke about him? I was always trying to stick around him at work until you started dating one another, right?
But I told you already that I couldn't tell that anything was going on between you two.
Well, I decided that for a few days before your wedding was the perfect time for me to take David back from your thieving hands, the same way you took him from me a year ago. As long as we've been dating, I knew he was looking to spend time with other women, but I thought I was good enough to keep his wandering eyes away from those other women. However, I didn't expect you to backstab me and ask him out.
For 2 years, you knew he was trying to get with other women? It would have been nice if you told me what he was up to before I'd gotten involved with him. I'm shocked that you and him have been together all this time, but I'm even more shocked by the fact that you wouldn't bother letting me know. Especially if you were going to get upset with me instead of the one you knew was cheating. I can't even start to comprehend your way of thinking.
You being so confused and wrecked by all of this brings me so much joy. All along you've had such an innocent and childish aura to you. But even so, David, everyone at work, and my position on the project team, you took it all away from me in the end.
That's ridiculous. Me having everyone's respect at work and becoming a member on the project team, I thought that was all because of you, and I was thinking that you were happy about my success.
Oh, so now you're gonna start talking back to me. Anyways, there's no point in arguing about this subject anymore, right? Because after 2 dreadfully long years of constant worry and jealousy, I was finally able to get David back from you and use your wedding to get married to him. It seems like I really got the jump on you after all.
If you'd really go as far as to say that you got the jump on me, then that would mean that David is okay with you being the one to marry him, right? With everything you've told me about him, he could already be with another girl as we speak. Has he finally realized that you're the one he's most interested in marrying?
That is right. David is pretty indecisive after all, so in all reality he would have been fine with marrying either of us. Luckily, I was able to snatch him back right before your guy's big day. You looked like you really wanted to marry him, so I thought he'd already gone ahead and forgot about me. But it turned out that he was still a little hesitant on who he really wanted to be with. So in the end, I used a little bit of persuasion to take him away from you.
Oh my god, he actually is a giant piece of garbage. But come on, are you really going to be okay with marrying him? Are you really sure about being the bride of a man who's okay being with any woman he chooses? This all seems to me like the making of a future divorce.
Of course I'm okay with it. I was able to steal him back from you, so I'll be just fine getting him to stop thinking about any other woman whenever I need to. On a side note, David's still young and very intelligent, so don't you think he could be the next candidate for a managing position in our company? He's got a safe road to becoming successful and rich. There won't be any downsides to grabbing a hold of a man like him and making our relationship strong.
So that's the way you decide who you want to marry then, huh? I never thought you were the kind of shallow person that uses money and success as a way to gauge if you should marry someone or not. Do you even care that he's cheated on you at all? I guess I was just imagining you as some sort of decent and thoughtful person.
You have such a way with words. Thank you for having thought of me as a genuine person. But the person you thought I was and the person I really ended up being, well, they're barely alike.
I find it super embarrassing that I have to sit here listening to someone as disgusting as you talk about how all of this is just normal. And to think I'm the one being blamed for all this crap?
You couldn't be more right. It's crazy how much an eye-opening event like this can make someone change in an instant. I was always being fake with all that sentimental crap that I said to you. But even though I was hinting just a little bit at all of the fooling around that was going on with David and I, well, you pretty much let it all go right over your head, huh? Never did you second-guess a single thing I said or did, until I finally decided to say it straight to your innocent face.
Wasn't it obvious to you, though, that I wouldn't be able to pick up on your hints? You were really trustworthy to me, so something like this actually happening was never on my mind. I could have never guessed that you and David were going to stab me in the back right before our wedding.
Oh no, did I finally end up burning our bridge? I'm really, truly sorry about that. I'll let you in on something even better. Last week, when you and I were messaging each other while you were working overtime, I was out drinking with David.
I should have guessed. That's why you were so happy to hear that I was doing overtime and wouldn't be home until later that night.
Right on the mark. On top of that, when I ended up calling the reception and letting them know that I would need to change the bride's information, they were all beyond surprised at that. But in all honesty, this is definitely something to be surprised about, huh?
That's enough already, Jenna. There's no need for me to have David around anymore, and any bit of pleasure I had talking with you is long gone now. Please go ahead and enjoy the wedding just the way you've stolen it from me between you and David. And as a side note to all of this, you'll be covering all the costs, right?
Naturally, as if you have any say in the matter. David is on course to become one of the elite within the company. I'm sure his salary will grow dramatically within the next few months, so he'll be able to afford everything and anything at our venue.
Well, I hope you enjoy being with that money bag of yours. From now on, I have no desire to hear from you or him, so please don't try to contact me. So long.
It looks like I got on your last nerve. See ya, loser. And by the way, this should be pretty obvious to you, but you're not invited to her wedding. On our special day, please stay in your bed and cry about what a wonderful wedding you could have had. Wait. Hold on for 1 second. What the heck is going on here? Isn't today's wedding supposed to be in Vegas? When I arrived at the reception hall, they told me that I'd made a mistake and that the wedding is taking place in Paris. Are you kidding me right now?
Huh? I told you not to speak to me anymore. Didn't I say that to you a few days ago? Are you not able to read English or something?
I can read, you idiot. I didn't message you because I wanted to. When I arrived at the reception hall in Las Vegas, I was told that I was at the wrong venue and that my wedding is taking place in France. There has to have been a misunderstanding. What the hell do they mean by that?
Well, first things first, I want to know why you thought that your wedding was in Las Vegas. I'd assumed you were the one who changed the location of the wedding to Paris. After all, you were looking at a wedding pamphlet for venues in France, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. The pamphlet that David was reading through was for places in Las Vegas, I thought. And after I'd called to change the bridal information for the wedding, they told me that the wedding would take place here in Las Vegas.
Oh, I see now. That pamphlet was for all of the venues that company owns. Vegas is just one of them. You do know that you were dealing with a company that has multiple venues, don't you? A bride wouldn't normally make such a careless mistake like this on one of the most important days of their life, right? But I suppose you were never the brightest one, huh?
Seriously. Hold on. In other words, David is heading to France right now to get ready for our wedding. All he said was, "I'll see you there." He should have told me something by now. Hasn't he noticed that I would be on the plane right now with him?
Guess not. Or maybe he just didn't care. Or even better, maybe he thought you were smart enough to know the right wedding venue. You guys must have really not talked about all of your travel plans very thoroughly then.
Why would you say these sorts of things when you can see that I'm panicking? When I was asking him about where we'd have our wedding at, I never said I wanted to have a wedding outside of the country. I said we should just go to Vegas.
I don't think he cared too much about where you wanted to have the wedding. Of course, I'd originally chose to have the wedding within the US, but you were the one who took my wedding away from me, so don't even try to rope me into this. Hopefully you can get a grasp on reality and find a way to get to Paris by the time the wedding starts. I mean, shouldn't you already be trying to catch up to him or something?
How am I supposed to catch him, though? I don't even have a passport. This is the whole reason why I told him to choose somewhere inside the States. There is no chance that I'll be able to get to him now. How should I even go about canceling the wedding?
Wouldn't it be best to just call the reception hall first and ask if it's okay for you to cancel the wedding? But let's be honest, is that even going to work for you? I mean, you're really cutting it close trying to cancel the wedding on the day of. You'll end up having to pay the full wedding fee anyway, right? What's going to happen when David's family shows up and there's no bride for the wedding? They're certainly going to be mad about wasting their time and money to go there.
Oh, God. They'll end up going all the way to France for absolutely nothing. It'll be a huge waste for them. And worst of all, this will make me look super bad.
You're going to be the one that has to pay for their travel and lodging expenses as well, you know. A while back, I'd said that paying for all of those who I invited would be pretty tough. But David said making our guests pay for the flight and hotels would be very disrespectful to them. I can't stop laughing. You'll have to blame him for that one.
That idiot! Causing all of this needless crap for me.
But seriously, you'll be the one causing the most problems for everyone by not showing up to your own damn wedding.
Ugh, this can't be happening to me. Having to pay for a wedding that I won't even be showing up to, and also having to pay for all our guests on top of that will be the end of me. And even if I decide to cancel all of this now, I'll still have to pay 100% of the wedding fees. Wait, I've got an excellent idea. How about I just give up and forget about the wedding and give it back to you? Consider it a nice present from me.
What? I think you've finally gone off the deep end with that sort of talk.
I wasn't joking around by saying that. I wanted to marry David, but since I can't be bothered anymore with all of this, how about you have it all back? You were really in love with David, right? You're more than welcome to go to Paris to marry him if you want. I'll even let him know I'm not in love with him anymore so that he'll stop thinking about me. If you do this for me, I won't have to hand over a single penny towards the wedding and you'll get to be with him.
You are being hilarious right now. Do you really think that I would just put all of this headache that you caused behind me and say, sure, that's fine with me. I'd love to marry an unfaithful guy like David.
Hey, it's not like we need his approval or anything. From the very start, this wedding was meant to be between you and David. Oh, that's right, I can just call the reception hall and ask them to change the bride's info again for me.
I'm sorry, but I don't think you can pull that off a second time. Even if you try to talk them into changing the information back to mine, I can't possibly see anyone there believing you.
What? There's no harm in trying.
It's not my fault that all of this is happening, you know. Why are you even still talking to me as if this is my problem? This fiasco was created by no one else but you two, right?
Well, if I can't find a way to go to France and I can't find someone to go in my place and marry David, then I'll be stuck having to pay for the whole wedding and everyone's expenses.
That's absolutely right. Also, you should already know by now that the expenses won't stop there.
They wouldn't. On top of all this, what more could there possibly be? Naturally, David wouldn't have enough saved up to cover any other fees, right? There's no way we'd be able to pay for anything else.
You can't just say that you won't be able to pay because you'll have no other choice. The other expenses will be from me suing you for emotional damage.
You're gonna try and sue me. Wait a second. You can't claim that sort of thing from David or I because you guys haven't even married one another yet. You greedy wench, you're just trying to find a way to make money from this.
I've consulted with a lawyer and he says there is in fact a good chance I can win a case against you. So lawyer up, that is if you can afford one after all the money you need to pay from the wedding. And thanks to all of the conversations we've had on here, I've now got plenty of evidence pointing to you ruining our wedding.
What? Those who are engaged also have to give consolation money if they break up. How much do you plan to ask for then? We really don't have that much money to give you.
It really doesn't matter to me how much money you or David have. My lawyer says I could sue for anywhere in the ballpark of $20,000 all the way up to $40,000.
$40,000. There is no way I'll be able to pay something as insane as that.
Well, you're gonna have to find some way to pay up. Maybe it's a good time to start looking for your lawyer who can help. You'll already be paying around $20,000 for the reception hall in Paris, and on top of that, you'll have to pay for your guys' hotel, as well as the cost of all who you invited to come to the wedding. With all that in mind, you'll have to pay around the same amount that you'll owe me, $40,000, right? So I feel I should be given an equal amount to those costs. Wow, now that I really think about it, that's going to be quite a serious bill.
You're really saying that David and I will have to pay around $80,000 in total for the wedding, all of our guests, and consolation fees to you.
It seems that way. And don't forget about the cost of getting a lawyer to help you. Also, remember when you were talking about David being pretty wealthy and how he seems to be on the way to making even more money? Well, you must have also known that he puts a decent amount of that money into sports betting.
What? He gambles with it? You're lying. I have never seen him go out and gamble, not once.
He did a pretty good job at hiding that fact from you, I guess, but I thought I should let you in on it since that might help when choosing how much each of you have to pay. But to be very honest, because of all his gambling, he practically has zero money in savings. And since he didn't have enough saved, my parents and I, along with David's parents, ended up doing most of the saving towards our wedding day.
But since you and your parents' part of the payment won't be covered, that'll all be left to David's parents, my parents, and myself to pay?
Well, not exactly. I don't believe that David's parents will be paying anything either now. I thought letting his parents know the details about how he'd be marrying you over me was a responsible thing to do. And since they seem to really care about me, they were not only upset with David, but also decided that paying for his part of the wedding wasn't something they wanted to do anymore. They said they had no plans of going to see your guys' wedding today either. But the most important thing to remember is that you and David are all on your own.
What? You have to be messing with me. This is all just a dream, right? It has to be.
Jenna, this is all very, very real, and you'll soon need to start accepting all of the mayhem you caused. Well, anyways, with that, I think our conversation is done here. Congratulations on your guys' wedding, and I look forward to hearing about how you plan to pay me later. Jenna was never able to make it over to France to meet with David at their wedding, since she didn't have a passport in the first place. And because the bride never ended up coming to the venue, the wedding was not allowed to be held. Hilariously, David and Jenna were both billed $40,000 for the reception hall and for all the guests that were invited to their wedding. Along with that, things are moving forward with my case against them. It's looking like they'll owe me an additional $20,000 for what they did. Because of this whole wedding disaster, Jenna and David got into a huge fight. They ended up having to live together in an old rundown house instead of separation, as that was their best chance of saving some money. Of course, they continued to have fights in the meantime while they were still together. Even though the both of them tried to keep all of these humiliating events a secret, our company eventually found out and they were both fired for constantly arguing while at work.